All right. Welcome to the third session of Building Bookworms. If you are returning, thank you so much for sticking with us. We hope you've learned a lot so far, and we're excited to continue. If this is the first session that you're watching, again, thank you for being here. We do have two other sessions that were previously recorded before this session. That first session kind of went over the basic foundation of the early literacy skills. That second session dove deep into reading and writing, two of the five practices referenced in the Every Child Ready to Read framework. So we're going to reference some things we might have gone over in past sessions, but even if this is your first one, you're still going to get a lot out of the session, even without watching those others. And on that note of referencing past sessions, we're going to continue talking about things that we've already gone over, repeating things that we say, because repetition solidifies information in our minds. That's why we stress repetition with children, and that's why we're also going to use repetition here in our Building Bookworm sessions. All right, well, let's get started. My name is Kelly. I am the Early Childhood Outreach Team Supervisor at the St. Louis Public Library, and I'm very excited because today I have my colleague with me, Lisa. Lisa is a youth specialist here at the St. Louis Public Library. She has a lot of knowledge and expertise, so I'm very excited for her to join this workshop and for you all to learn from her as well. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. The past couple sessions, we've talked about Every Child Ready to Read. That is the 5 practices of reading, writing, singing, talking, and playing. We do those 5 practices to build early literacy skills. In that first session, we went over those 6 early literacy skills. And then in the previous session, we really dove deep into reading and writing, like I said before. So today, our focus is going to be specifically on singing and talking and how those 2 practices can build language and literacy skills. All right, so I'm going to pass it over to Lisa now. She's going to get us started with discussing some simple things that you might already be doing. And remember, we know you're already doing a great job. We just want to take it a step further, be a little more intentional with some of the things we're doing in order to build those early literacy skills. So, all right, Lisa, I'm handing it over to you. You can go ahead and get started.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Liefeld, and I'm a youth specialist here at the Central Library. I work in the Children's Library, and I'm a colleague of Kelly Carter's, and I'm so happy to be able to join you. I know you've been meeting with Kelly over the past 2 weeks to look at reading and writing and how important those skills are to early literacy. And today we're going to move on to looking at singing and talking. One of the things I want to start with is when I listened to Kelly's last presentation, and she talked so much about having fun with children, enjoying children as you're doing early literacy activities. She also talked quite a bit about using these early literacy activities, just embedding them into your everyday routines with children. And that's how children learn, when they have multiple opportunities to learn in settings that they are familiar with, like all your daily routines. The other thing that Kelly talked about, and that I'll be emphasizing again tonight, is the importance of being intentional and recognizing what you are already doing and then just adding some more to that. Also, I think by going through these presentations, you'll see that you are doing things, and these presentations just help you to better understand the importance of what you're doing. So for today, our objectives are, by the end of this presentation, you will be able to describe 3 ways to use singing to support literacy development. And then we're going to move into having you be able to describe 3 ways to talk with your child to support literacy development. So let's move on to see what you're already doing. So for example, do you have fun singing with your child? Do you listen to music at home? Do you use songs in your daily routines? And do you have family favorite songs? And that's a really, really important one. All of these things help your child develop listening skills as well as help to develop their vocabulary. So let's look at 4 different ways of how singing supports literacy. As I just mentioned, singing helps to build your child's vocabulary development. Vocabulary development is one predictor of early reading success. When children have a large vocabulary, it is easier for them to learn new words. And not only do children need to learn words, but they need to use them in context. The second way that singing supports literacy is literacy singing slows down the sounds that make up words. And the reason why this is important is because the ability to recognize and manipulate sounds is a predictor of reading success. Also, singing helps children to hear the parts of words. So in addition to hearing the sounds in words, they're able to hear the parts of words in songs. Also, songs tell stories with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And this helps them to follow the song. And songs really lay the foundation for story structure because when children read stories, they will be learning about how to follow the beginning, the middle, and the end. So let's take a look at how singing slows down language so that children can hear the parts of words. So first, we're going to look at Twinkle, Twinkle as it is spoken. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay, I'm going to go to the next slide and then I'm going to sing the song and then I want you to listen to how singing slows down the sounds of language. So here we go. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So again, when you slow down the song, children are able to hear the different parts of words in addition to the sounds. One thing I want to mention here is that I'm not the best singer. And part of this is to remind you that you don't have to be a really excellent singer. Children just enjoy listening to you because you're important to them. And so, again, you don't have to be the best singer to enjoy singing with your child. So now the next 4 slides are going to look at 4 singing strategies that you can use at home. So the first one is to use predictable songs. The second one will be putting tunes into routines. The third strategy is to use clapping games. And the fourth one, as we've emphasized, is to sing and have fun. Okay, so first of all, you want to use songs with predictable patterns. Predictable patterns support children's memory and the development of vocabulary. So here's just listed some of our common songs that pretty much everyone knows. The Wheels on the Bus, the Hokey Pokey, and If You're Happy and You Know It. So take a song like Wheels on the Bus. So if you're familiar with the song, you know that one verse is that the wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish. So over the course of the song, children are going to hear swish, swish, swish 15 times. So this helps them to remember the words and to have those words in their word bank. Also, when children are singing with you and they're going swish, 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 the actions, when you pair words to actions, it helps to build language connections in the brain. So have fun with these songs and know that children are learning important things as you sing them. A second singing strategy is to put tunes in daily routines. So let's look at a classic children's song, The Farmer in the Dell. And first, I'm just going to sing the little song, and then we're going to see how you can use the pattern of the song to make up your own song that you can do with your children in their daily routines. So here it goes. The farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell, hi-ho the dairy-ho, the farmer in the dell. And now we're going to make up a bath song to that tune. I'm taking a bath, I'm taking a bath, hi-ho the dairy-o, I'm taking a bath. So it's just a really kind of fun, sweet way to just make up your own song to a popular tune. So again, we're going to look this time at the Muffin Man. So I'll sing it first. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? This time, we're going to, instead of a bath song, we're going to look at how we could make up a tune that will go to a mealtime routine, this time breakfast. Let's all eat our cereal, cereal, cereal. Let's all eat our cereal so early in the morning. So have some fun just seeing what songs you can make up to use in your child's routines. Again, one thing I also want to emphasize is that when children are learning vocabulary, it's best when they're learning it within the context of their daily lives, because that again helps children to build language connections in the brain. Now we're going to move on to using clapping games. So in this video, we're going to watch a mom clap for each syllable in the words in a clapping game. This is a really, really great video. You're going to see this mom. She gently praises her son. She models how to do syllable clapping. She gives him some gentle correction. She gives him some hints. And it's just a really great way of how you can see how a relatively simple game can help children to understand the parts in words. Okay, before we go on, I just want to read from the screen and have you be able to take some time to digest what's on the screen, because it's really important to understand syllable clapping. So in this activity, you will help your child to identify syllables in spoken words by clapping for each syllable. Being able to hear and identify syllables will help your child learn to read and spell.
We're going to play a word game, and we're going to clap as we say the words. So I'm thinking of the word baby. So I'm going to clap the sounds out in the word baby. Baby.
I'm thinking for
You want to do it?
Apple.
You want to do apple? Okay.
Apple.
Cool. Let's do it again. Ready?
Apple.
That's right. Okay, you want to do buffalo? Okay. Buffalo. Can you do it?
Buffalo.
Okay, can you clap when you do them?
Buffalo.
Exactly. How about cookie? You want to do cookie?
Cookie.
Good job. How about fork?
Fork.
Very good. Let's see. How about lemonade?
Lemonade.
Let's try that again. Let's listen really carefully.
Lemonade.
Yeah. Can you do it again?
Lemonade.
Exactly. There's 3 syllables in that word.
How about tiger?
Tiger?
Yeah.
You want to do it?
Yeah. Tiger.
Very good. You did a really good job. You learned, I think you got pretty much all of them. You nailed all of those syllables.
Okay, again, just to review, breaking words into syllables gets children ready to listen for individual letter sounds. Playing with sounds in words is part of phonological awareness, which is an important set of skills that help children learn how to read and spell. So just a couple points about this video. Again, we saw the mom modeling, giving praise. They were laughing and having fun. At one point, the little boy introduced the word tiger. So he introduced a word that he wanted to do syllable clapping with. One of the ways that you can also expand on syllable clapping, and is a fun thing to do, is have a bag or a box and put your children's favorite foods in there or their favorite toys, and then pull it out or have them pull something out of the bag, and then they get to syllable clap for whatever they brought out. So it's just kind of a way of building on your child's preference and following their lead. Finally, it's important to enjoy singing together. This takes me back to Kelly's presentation about reading. And she really emphasized the importance of just really having memorable, fun, soothing, comfortable times reading to your child. The same thing with enjoying singing together. So have fun. Make up your own silly songs, make up your own dances, sing in your native language, and you can also use household items as instruments. For example, using pots and pans to bang on. And again, we really want to emphasize that if English isn't your first language, sing in your native language. English will eventually come. We really want to affirm children's cultures, and one of the ways we do that is by speaking in your native language. So now we're going to move on to talking. And again, we're going to go back to starting with what you're already doing. So for example, do you talk with your child when you pick them up from childcare? Do you talk with your child during bath time? Or perhaps, do you talk with your child when you're on a bus or driving? All again, ways to build your child's vocabulary and to build your child's vocabulary and to be able to use words in meaningful contexts. So let's go ahead and look at how talking supports literacy. First of all, it helps to build vocabulary. It builds listening skills, and it helps your child to be a communication partner. And one of the things we want to talk about in terms of helping your child be a communication partner, and Kelly talked quite a bit about this when she did her presentation on reading, was taking your child's lead and following what they want to talk about. This really makes children feel important. It makes them feel connected to you, and that they know that you're interested in what they have to say. They're so excited to talk with us, and we want to hear about all their discoveries and what they like about books and what happened to childcare. And you can have these back and forth conversations. Again, this gives children the opportunity to hear vocabulary words in context. And again, when children have a large vocabulary and they understand the meaning of the words, this is going to help them with reading comprehension. So it's really important to support your child's vocabulary development. And of course, building listening skills is so critical because it's through talking that, again, children are able to hear the sounds in words and also to hear the parts of words. So we're going to look at 4 talking strategies, and I think you'll probably see yourself as we go through these. So the first one is to stretch out your child's vocabulary. The second one is to expand on what your child says. Third, talk your way throughout the day and be a conversation partner. So all of these things help to put words, you're making deposits in your child's word bank. The more words they know, the easier it will be for them to learn new words. So by stretching out your child's vocabulary, what we're referring to here is having children be able to take a small word and also know another word that's similar but is a more sophisticated term or word. So for example, instead of saying this dessert is good, you could say this dessert is scrumptious. And so you're making a deposit in your child's word bank. And by eating the food, they're beginning to feel that it's good or scrumptious. So again, using words within context, that gives the words meaning. Another thing you could say is, instead of saying, let's find the big pumpkin, you could say, let's find the gigantic pumpkin. So in these 2 interactions, you've just deposited 2 more words into their word bank. The third strategy is to expand on what your child says. So if your child says ball, you might say, yes, you are playing with the red ball. So you've expanded in 2 ways. You describe the child's action with the ball, again, emphasizing when you give words to actions, developing language connections in the brain. You're also giving them the opportunity to learn the new word red, or if they know the word red, you're giving them another opportunity to hear that word in context. Again, supporting memory. Your child might say outside, and you might say something like, oh, you want to go out and play in the jungle gyms, your favorite outside activity? And again, you're introducing the word jungle gym. In both of these instances, you followed the child's lead and you've expanded on what they say, which is likely then that they'll want to continue talking and engage you as a conversation partner. The fourth strategy is to talk your way throughout the day. And this is something that, just as you're going about your everyday routines, you just kind of narrate what you're doing. That's self-talk, when you narrate what you're doing. So you might say, I'm folding the laundry. Or you might say, I'm getting the mail. In contrast, parallel talk is when you model or you expand and describe to the child what they're doing. So, for example, you might say, you're making squiggly lines with your crayons, or you're building a Lego tower. And kids just love this. Children they love it when people take an interest in what they're doing, comment on it, describe it, and then they might tell you what they're building with their Lego tower, and then you can continue to have a conversation with them about that. And again, here, you might have introduced the word squiggly, or you might have introduced the word tower. So this next slide, we're going to watch how a dad builds vocabulary in a food preparation video. So he's preparing an eggplant dish for lunch or dinner, and he and his son are preparing the eggplant. He does a variety of things here to build his child vocabulary, building words in context. He labels the eggplant. He repeats the word eggplant several times. He uses the word squishy to describe the eggplant, and his son is able to feel it, and he can put the actions of it being squishy. He feels that squishiness, and then he attaches it to the word squishy. The dad also introduces math vocabulary. He talks about how they're using 1 onion, and then he talks about how they have half of an eggplant, and then he narrates cleaning up. So this is all done within a 45-second interaction, and you can just see the richness of the vocabulary development strategies. All right.
All right, let's make some eggplant for lunch today. This right here is eggplant. See that? Eggplant. It's good. It's in a lot of Italian food. It's kind of squishy. Feel that? See? Oh, that's fun, huh? Eggplant. Gotta cut off the top. That right there we don't use. We can throw that in a little bowl. And then we cut it in half. So we have 1 onion. And now how many pieces do we have? 1, 2. You want to smell it? Smell it. Strong. Here, put this in the junk bowl. Put it in here. All right, good job. Don't forget this spot too. Get that spot. Get right there. Good boy. All right, all done. Finished. Yay!
Okay, so just again to review, wow, didn't Dad do a great job? Again, he labeled the vocabulary, he let his son feel that squishy eggplant. He introduced math vocabulary, 1 onion, half of an eggplant, and then he narrated cleaning up. So in that video, that little boy has learned a variety of different words in an everyday routine that happens in families preparing a meal. Our final strategy today is to be a conversation partner. As we talked about before, and as Kelly talked about when she was discussing the importance of having conversations with children as you're reading, the importance of following your child's lead. Again, it motivates them. It inspires them to want to talk more, and it builds great connections between you and your child. In addition to following your child's lead, it's important to take turns. That's what it means to be a conversation partner. And so we think about taking turns. We want to think about trying for 5 turns. You take a turn, your child takes a turn. Your child takes a turn, you take a turn. This increases the richness of the exchange. On the next slide, we're going to watch a video of a very important strategy that's called serve and return. So serve and return interactions, they've been named serve and return because it's kind of like a ping pong game or a tennis match. So you take a turn, your child takes a turn. Just like in a ping pong game, someone would hit the ping pong and someone would hit it back. Or in a tennis match, someone hits the ball and they hit it back. So it is in this kind of serve and return interaction. And there's 5 steps, this very important interaction. And the first one is, let your child begin the interaction and take their lead. That's your cue then to follow your child's lead. Then share the focus. Talk about whatever you and the child are looking at together. That's joint attention, and that's really important to children's emotional development as well as their language development. You're just sharing the focus of something that's important to your child with them. And then you and the child take turns about what you're sharing the focus of. Then, just as you notice for the child to begin the interaction, it's equally important for you to know when the child is done with interaction and they move on. In this next wonderful video that we're going to see, you're going to see families in all kinds of different ordinary routines. At the grocery store, at the pumpkin patch, during play at a child care center, during play at home. You're going to see children and families dancing, laughing, and having fun. And you're going to see this beautiful, beautiful kind of interaction, again called serve and return.
Did you know that you can help build a child's brain?
Those are bananas.
Everyday interactions can have a big impact on developing brains throughout childhood, starting even before babies can talk.
Scientists call this serve and return, like a game of tennis or ping pong. A child serves by showing an interest in something, and the adult responds in a supportive way.
Finding moments throughout the day to do it is easy and fun, and you'll be building strong brains. You can use 5 steps to practice serve and return with any child. Step 1, share the focus.
When a child is interested or curious, you can see it.
What's this? It's a stroller.
Watch this child look at something in a book, right there. Pointing shows interest.
Cow.
So does making a sound, like this child. And mom is paying close attention.
See baby moving those little arms and legs and focusing on the ball? That's a serve.
The key is paying attention to what the child is noticing.
Oh, you like those guys too?
Look at Grandpa sharing the focus.
By noticing serves, you will help build curiosity, and you'll strengthen your relationship.
Step 2, support and encourage.
You can return a child's serve by saying a word of encouragement.
That's right. Very good.
Watch Grandpa return this serve by saying thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Even a facial expression can encourage a child.
Orange.
Or emotion, like this mom dancing.
Time. A.
You can also pick up the object that the child is pointing to and bring it closer.
We need help to sit her down.
Things like helping and playing with the child let them know that their thoughts and feelings are heard and understood. Step 3, name it.
Yeah, the puppy. See the windows, the house.
When you return a child's serve by naming what they are seeing, doing, or feeling, you make important language connections in their brain.
He's got bumps all over him, huh?
This brain building happens even before a child can talk or understand your words.
You can name anything, a person, a thing, an action, a feeling, or a combination.
Clean up, everybody do your shit.
When you name what a child is focused on, you help build understanding of the world around us and what to expect from it.
The baby's sitting. Ooh, the baby's sitting in the back seat of the car.
You like those? Those are raisins. You have raisins all the time.
Naming also gives a child words to use later and shows that words are important to you.
Step 4. Take turns back and forth.
Taking turns helps children learn self-control and how to get along with others.
Waiting is crucial. When you return a serve, give the child a chance to respond.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Note that the caregiver waits here for next serve.
See this toddler navigating a new adventure? Grandpa is waiting patiently, returning serves by asking questions and then waiting to see what happens next.
Yeah.
You want to cover it?
Yeah.
Are you cold?
Yeah.
Oh, put this over your lap like this, okay? There. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
By waiting, you give the child time to develop ideas and build confidence and independence.
Step 5. Practice endings and beginnings. Children signal when they're done or ready to move on to a new activity.
Watch how this child shows it's time to start something new. Letting go of a toy signals an ending. Then picking up a new toy signals the next beginning.
Want to play with the giraffe?
Sharing the focus is important in this step.
Ooh, the big eagle.
Because this mom is sharing the focus, she notices when her child is ready to end one activity and begin something new.
X, Y, and Z.
When you can find these moments for a child to take the lead,
Want to try this one?
you support the child in exploring their world
Would you like to play with something else?
and make more serve and return interactions
Yeah, wanna
possible.
sit there?
Serve and return interaction is critical for a child's developing brain. And the best news is that you can do it anytime, anywhere, without any need for toys or technology.
Look for small opportunities throughout the day, like while you're making a snack or while you're grocery shopping. What matters most is that you're doing each of these 5 steps. Notice the serve and share the child's focus of attention. Return the serve by supporting and encouraging. Name it, take turns going back and forth, and practice endings and beginnings.
Serve and return interactions make everyday moments fun and come second nature with practice. Try practicing with a child today.
And before we go on to our final slide, I just kind of wanted to point out some of the things. Every time I see this video, I see new things that I want to mention. But I think one of the things that we saw was when they talked about that you do serve and return interactions even before children develop words. When that one mom saw that baby was looking at something and then wiggling his legs, she recognized that wiggling and looking as serve. So then she was able to comment about what the child was so excited about. The other thing that really, again, is important to remember is that we saw how these serve and return interactions happen at the grocery store, at the park, at the pumpkin patch, or at Children's Child Care Center, or at home. We saw a lot of singing and dancing and fun. We saw parents following their child's lead. We saw them ending interactions when their child was ready to move on. And essentially, so the parents in those videos and grandparents, they didn't control the interaction. They facilitated conversation between them and their children. So we're going to go back now to our presentation and look at our final slide. Oops. Just tab. Okay, so in conclusion, we want to look at some takeaways. And like Kelly started out or ended her presentation, she talked about the fact that you're already doing a great job. Remember that building literacy isn't just about reading books to children. Sing and talk and have fun with your children. Have fun singing, clapping, and dancing. And also enjoy being a conversation partner with your child. And look for ways throughout the day to build your child's vocabulary so they see words that are used in context, so they understand the meaning of words, which is really, really important as an early literacy skill for supporting reading comprehension. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you next time when we look at how play supports early literacy. So long.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. That was really some great information. I hope everyone really got a lot out of that. Just to kind of wrap up, today's session focused on singing and talking. And our last session, our fourth one, is going to really dive deep into playing and how playing can really support early literacy development. We're also going to share some really good resources with you all, so make sure you watch that fourth session. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you at the next one.